Alright, so I am going to be removing the entire drive shaft, and this is a 2003 T1N Sprinter. The process is pretty similar for 02 to 06 Sprinters. I also have a 158-inch wheelbase, so instead of just having one center bearing, I have one intermediate bearing and one center bearing. And then there's the front shaft, followed by the rear shaft. This part, I actually bought the OEM drive shaft, so where the spline meets to create the entire rear shaft, it actually comes pre-assembled, which I will show. So that is super nice. So you really just have to line up this entire rear shaft with that front shaft, which starts right there. Boop. And then I am going to be removing the rear shaft first. So I got jack stands basically right up to where it can't really fall too much. The drive shaft isn't that heavy. I mean, it's heavy, but like not crazy heavy. So I'm going to start back there, remove those 4 bolts, come here, remove the 2 bolts holding this intermediate bearing, and lastly remove those 4 bolts right there. I'm not going to remove that bearing because that's actually going to hold up the front shaft, and I don't want to remove that yet. I could slip that out. So I'm just taking that out to mark or to keep the bolts together. So, I will lie, I knew I was gonna make a video, so I actually cracked every single bolt that I was gonna take out of the drive shaft last night, just so I wouldn't be wasting time doing that. It was still kind of hard to get out. So there's a decent amount of weight on this guy. The back where I separated the rear differential bolts, I don't know, I think this is the original drive shaft. So I don't think that's ever been separated. So I think, actually that's not true. It's not true. I have my ring and pinion bearing done. And this one is kind of funky. It's way up there, kind of blind, but I was able to get to it with maybe I thought I was. I actually needed a so also I should say the wheels are all chalked. So you can put the van in neutral and turn the van if you need. There we go. And I marked this one just because I replaced the OEM, but I just like projecting on my van, so I want to rebuild this drive shaft. It's actually a way that you can add serviceable U-joints. I'll include that link. So I think that'd be kind of a fun project. And then I'll also make a video of just replacing the carrier bearing and center bearing. This is probably overkill. Like, I don't think the U-joints look that bad, but I don't know. I don't like having to worry about stuff like that. So I just bought a whole new shaft with new U-joints, and won't have to worry about it for a long time. This van has 420,000 miles on it. So this Driveshaft did a good job. These are really there it is. All right, I just turned it and that kind of loosened it up. So that's nice. Oh, fucker. Got that one. And this one's separated. So now, take it down. All right. So, lower that. This one's already low, so I'm just going to kind of roll this off. By roll, I mean there's the input to the transmission. And then there is the input into the rear differential. And there's the Driveshaft. Alright, so here is the old Driveshaft. And I marked here so that when I rebuild this, the spline needs to line up, which you can also just line up the knuckle with the knuckle to make sure that they're in phase, just meaning that they're both showing that middle yellow part, which I marked. Got a nice camera view for the front. don't even think I need. Oh, yeah. Best practice. This one's pretty short, so I don't need the jack stands, but make your life easier. I mean, you also got this guy, which I loosen the bolts, but I feel like I might actually be able to get the, I think it might be able to slide through that. In which case, should be a little bit easier. I'm gonna do the transmission first. I'm pulling up on the drive shaft right now to make it a little easier. long extension. Makes your life easy. This bolt is a little hidden, but not too bad. Definitely recommend the jack stand because it's kind of wiggling. Oops. Okay. So there's. These are my bolts for the rear. There's our guy. Keep these bolts together.
Caleb,
Yeah?
did you feed Nate?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yes. All right, so before I put on the new drive shaft, I am gonna clean up these bolts with just paper towel, silicone lubricant, and a wire brush. I'm not gonna video this because I feel like it's just not worth your time, but I'm gonna do it. All right, not crazy clean, but threads are a lot better, and I'll lube them up right before they go on. And then under the van, cleaned the mating surface for those brackets, so nice and smooth. All right, so here is the new drive shaft, and you can see they already put that together. Here are the part numbers. If you can find one, highly recommend. They came with the bearings installed. I mean, that's pretty clutch. It's another like 200, 300 bucks. And then I'm gonna point out that, let me turn this guy, so. Top of these knuckles, there is the CFD marking. This is on the short one, so you got CFD, and then on the long one, you have CFD up there, and then you also have CFD up here. And so what I have deduced, along with the help, I can't even take credit. Dr. A told me about the phasing. So we have this knuckle is in phase with this knuckle. They're both facing up. And then when this bearing is going to be installed, that CFD is also facing up. So even if you don't have CFD, just make sure that all the knuckles are in phase. So going from transmission to where this will connect to right there, and then all the way back to the rear differential. CFD, CFD, knuckles on top, that is the goal. And then obviously this bearing will be flipped. So that's how it'll look. And then these guys, those bolts fall out. So this goes over, so goes up and over like that. Not really sure what these do, but I guess just extra support. Trying to get the best camera angle. So right here is where the front shaft carrier bearing or center bearing is gonna go. So that gives you an idea kind of spacing. I'm gonna line up, you know, this guy so that the drive shaft is going to be, you know, resting on that. Oh, I should be a little bit higher. Similar to before. In hindsight, I wish I had left this in place where I had it, but we'll find out shortly where that needs to be. And then I'm going to move the other one back, and then we're going to get the drive shaft up onto both my jacks and see you know, what we're working with. Hopefully it's a good view. Hey guys. Oh, I did forget, I wanted to clean the mating surface. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Just spraying it onto my paper towel here. Wasn't even that dirty. All right, sorry, I was just marking drive shaft. We're going in now. Getting this bracket in place where that's gonna go. Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good. Just gonna use these boxes a bit afterward. It's kind of awesome. So I can just speed it along. So it's not really that it's that heavy, it's just kind of awkward. It's really long. And I'm using these packing boxes, but I'm gonna take them off now. And we're gonna get them up on these jacks, but I've got some more. So it's off now. Gotta have gotta finish this up because Arsenal is about to play Liverpool. We want to watch that game. All right, so we're gonna go up now. So. Up there, using my head. Boom. Okay. Nice. Spraying these bolts before I put them in. Okay, so this guy goes up and over. And I'm gonna torque down. I'll have all the torque specs and everything in the description, but that's how that goes. And I'm gonna just get this kind of loosely in place. Okay, so that's hanging there. Now I'm gonna get the back bolts in. Put these guys out of the way. I spray all my bolts going in with this silicone lubricant. I did use Canacroil before last night when I was getting them all loose. I started spraying Croil probably 3 days ago, and I would just spray once in the morning, once at night, and then I didn't really have any issue. Actually, I take that back. The 2 bolts I just put in were kind of hard, but not horrible. So nothing's attached yet, so I'm just gonna turn that. Using the jack stand to kind of get it lined up. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna spray all these. I'm just lightly getting these in here because it's not perfectly lined up. Alright, I'm going to tighten those down just a little bit. So I'm kind of going cross pattern here. I mean, I am on cross pattern. I'm not torquing it, I'm just getting it tight. Real good. All right, guys. So I guess you don't know that there was a break there, but the reason I have a bandage on my head is I looked back from just installing the rear diff and noticed that my phone ran out of storage. So on the way out, I actually have my sliding door open. I just hit my head directly on the corner. Yeah, had to go in, and my wife wrapped my head. She thinks that I should wear a hat because I have lost credibility to my viewers if they're gonna be like, this dude doesn't know what he's doing, but had nothing to do with the repair. I guess it had a little bit to do with the repair, but in terms of bolting, torque specs, drive shaft removal, nothing to do with that. Just be careful when you're scooting out of your van. All right, so back to the pay-per-view. So I'm gonna tighten these up a little more. And that's pretty good. So I'm not going too tight because I want to make sure that the front can line up. The back is on nicely, and I can see that my CFD marking is on the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap around to the front shaft, get that guy in, see how the bolt holes are lining up, and continue on. Hopefully I don't hit my head again. All right. Okay, so I think you can see on here, I marked, I just don't know if you can. I marked with the yellow right there. Whoop. Just so you can see where the CFD was really easily. And then I'm gonna get the other jack stand. A little help here. Actually, we're gonna try without the jack stand because I think I can just get it in here. So we're gonna slot that through there. Maybe I'll pull that guy up. There we go. Okay. So, oh my God, forgot. I want to clean that mating surface as well. Actually, it's pretty clean. I mean, I'm gonna do it, but I forgot. I guess the mating surface I was thinking about was actually this part. It was really dirty on the old one. Never hurts. Okay. So, put all the bolts over. 4 transmission ones. All right, now, right here, you can see this is the rear shaft coming up. I've got my CFD, the yellow marking. You can see that. Yeah. Now I want to make sure, here's my yellow one here. So actually I need to turn that a little bit. So now that looks pretty in phase. So I'm gonna connect these two. So boom, in phase, bolt holes are lining up. Love that. So I'm gonna connect these two right here, front shaft to rear shaft. Then I'm gonna slot this thing up here. I'm gonna connect those. Then I'm gonna hopefully, it actually looks like I might be able to connect that. If not, the van is fully chocked and I'm gonna put it in neutral, and that will allow me to turn the transmission. So here we go. And as always, I am going to spray my bolts. Lubricant just feels like it makes life easier. Does make life easier. Hey, about to get it all in.
What?
It's about to, it's all in, just about. What are you doing?
I'm going to do roof litter.
Oh, nice. Okay. Tighten this down a little bit. Okay, so these are tight. Now we're gonna get that bracket up there. This actually, although might be easier to not get the bracket and get that lined up. Yeah, take it back. We're actually gonna do these first. Cause that's still like loose, so it makes these a lot easier. I think mine actually lined up, so. to get comfortable here. Slightly down. There we go. No. Well, it's not going in. Feels like it should be. Whew. Arm workout. There's a gap. Oh, that's not why. Okay. That one got in. Tighten that one down. So we can get the others in place. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Not really sure why it was so hard, but it was. Kind of a bummer. I can't lean on my head right now. That's what I usually do. That's right where I nailed it though, so. Okay, they're all in. So I'm gonna show you in phase now what I mean by that. Just so that's the corner I hit my head on. And then what we mean by in phase is, so I marked the top of where the CFD was, which was actually super clutch. You can see it's kind of hard to tell up there, but anyway. So you have that yellow one there, and then the knuckle and the yellow there are in line all the way back to the rear, which you can't really see the yellow, but you see how the knuckle, so the knuckle right there is facing out, facing out, facing out, facing out. That's what we want. Okay, now we're gonna do this bracket. Okay, so the bracket goes up and over like that. And we're gonna slot this guy and get this into place. Forgot to leave it up. Okay, this is actually kind of hard to get up in there, so again, I'm going to use my extension. I'm going to put the bolt in the extension and then slot it through. Okay, we're gonna use the jacks here. This is kind of hard. So I'm gonna push up and then I'm gonna get this back and raise it. There we go. Okay, much easier. That bolt's just stuck. It's definitely the hardest bolt of the whole process. Just like I think a little brake line right there. but we got it in. So now use this to go. Okay, 4 bolts in up there, 2 bolts in here, 4 bolts in here, 2 bolts there, and 4 bolts at the rear diff. So now I'm gonna torque everything down. All right, in the interest of completeness, I'm gonna film myself torquing these down. So I did 77 foot-pounds for this guy. There are a lot of torque specs in the manual, and there's like 70, 74, and 77. I wasn't quite sure, so I just went with 77. And I actually need extender. Gotta get my long extender for that other bolt. See how this one goes. I think it's gonna get some clearance. Yeah, I'm good. And then the torque spec for these little guys is 52 foot-pounds, so change that up. All right, in the interest of not hitting my head again, I'm gonna torque these 4 bolts, those 4 bolts, in the back 4 bolts to 52 foot-pounds. Don't think that needs to be videoed, so hopefully this was helpful. And yeah, I feel like without me hitting my head, it took about 2 hours. Pretty chill.